Hey everybody, and welcome to How I Built Bits, a clip show that surfaces some of the best advice from nearly 300 interviews of how I built it in 15 minutes or less. The clock's ticking, so let's dive into this clip from Nathan Ellering on how to come up with your content marketing strategy. But first, a word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by TextExpander. What can you do with more hours? Repetitive typing, little mistakes, searching for answers. They're all taking precious time away from you. With TextExpander, you can take it back and focus on what matters most. In 2021, TextExpander saved me 34 typing hours. That doesn't even include the collective hours I would have spent looking for responses, links, resources, code, and anything else I type regularly. Talk about creating more efficiently. You will never need to copy-paste repetitive responses again. With TextExpander, your knowledge will always be at your fingertips with a quick search or abbreviation. TextExpander is available on all platforms, and show listeners get 20% off. Take back your time today at textexpander.com/podcast.
What I try to do is to educate people on how to solve a problem with marketing. And it just inherently connects into something that CoSchedule can help them solve. So for example, you had kind of mentioned that CoSchedule is a marketing strategy calendar. That's 100% right. So what I will do in a blog post is teach people how to plan a marketing strategy or how to plan a blog post schedule with a calendar, or how to plan the perfect social media posting schedule. And I will literally teach them how to do this without using CoSchedule. But inherently, if they use CoSchedule, they'll be able to do what they're doing that much easier and more efficiently and effectively. And so that's kind of how it ties in, is a lot of education based, connecting back into the product.
And that's great, right? Because if somebody logs into CoSchedule but doesn't really know how to develop a content strategy, it could be very overwhelming for them. I know you have there's some coaching there when you first log in, but content is not an easy thing to come up with, especially kind of in volume. So
yeah, and I think that's exactly where we want to step in with content, is try to figure out. Again, this goes back to audience feedback too, because we want to proactively solve their challenges. If I can help people plan a really great marketing strategy, they have that much more reason to use a tool like CoSchedule. Or if someone is already successful with social media, they will be even more successful with CoSchedule. And that's kind of how we do it, is we teach people how to be amazing rock stars at what they do. And then where CoSchedule as a tool can step in is where organization comes into play, or efficiency, if they want to start saving time and they want to collaborate better on projects. That's really where the two connect extremely well.
Nice. So I know that you're the marketing guy primarily. So, the title question of the show is, how did you build it? So why don't we talk a bit about how you're building the marketing strategy for CoSchedule?
Yeah, it's been kind of fun. I was the first marketer to join CoSchedule back in 2014. And where we started then was just getting on a regular blogging schedule. For a lot of people, that's extremely difficult to do. But what we kind of said to ourselves is start with that goal of, let's just get 2 new blog posts out every single week. And if we can do that, then we can do more. And we started, improving as we went. And since then, some of our strategy has gone from just getting 2 of those educational blog posts out there to now we do a weekly podcast, kind of like this one. Nice. And we do a video series to show off some of the culture behind the scenes and the people who are building this tool and how they love the work that they're doing, and therefore building a product that they love and appreciate. And we are also doing tons of webinars to kind of help people learn. And on top of that, some other things that we're doing are just, how can we reach a larger audience to help them introduce them to a tool like CoSchedule? And so some of the things that we're looking at doing now are, how can we start writing for some influential publications like Forbes, Inc., Entrepreneur? How can we get coverage for new feature releases in publications like Inc. or, possibly TechCrunch would be amazing. And so that's kind of where our strategy is going, is trying to, I guess our tool is very meta, right? Because I'm a marketer who gets to marketing stuff, which is really fun for me. But we're trying to get very strategic, and all of those things are very focused on goals. And I think that that's where, as you get more advanced with marketing and as your product develops too, everything has to connect back to meaningful growth. And that's exactly where our marketing roadmap is heading.
Gotcha. So this is going a little bit off of the normal list that we have. And I don't want you to give away, what's this? I'm really bad with colloquialisms. Like, we could just have a clip show of me messing up these things, but I don't want you to give away the cow with the milk. Is that the saying, right? I don't want you to give away your whole business, but could you give us like a rough sketch of how you would build a content strategy for someone, trying to market a product, say a WordPress plugin?
Yeah. I think one of the things that we do extremely well is when let's say you already have a product, but you're iterating on it with a new feature, or you have the next version 2.0. What we do a lot is we come up with what we call talking points. And I think those are really important and connects back into that idea of feedback. So, for example, we had a feature launched just recently called Requeue. It's a social media automation tool. And we went out and we talked to people about, if you had a tool that could send social messages on your behalf to fill the gaps in your social media posting schedule, describe it to us. And we literally had them describe the feature to us, or what it would do for them, or how they would benefit. And then we use that information in our talking points of how we market this feature. It's pretty smart because we get to use the words that our audience used to describe a feature that they thought they were going to get. And so we really use their language to communicate with them. And so I guess another thing that we've done is, after we kind of got their feedback and understood what sort of tool or feature we should build, we did a beta period for the first time ever, actually, with that feature. And that was a huge marketing play as much as it was a product play, because we tested that feature. We got tons of feedback and actually ended up rebuilding a lot of it. And that was it was for the best, because they helped us understand even more what they needed, so we could launch a tool that would not only solve our beta testers' problems, but really connect to other people like them. And that was a big marketing thing. Obviously, the product team did a phenomenal job with that beta test, but it really helped us, me coming in at the tail end and trying to market this thing, it really made it an easy job for me.
That's awesome.
So, that's a little bit of how we approach product marketing. And once a feature launches, something that we do is we have a feature announcement blog post on our blog. With that Requeue feature specifically, we reached out to some of our friends. You had mentioned some of the logos on our site. We had reached out to one of our friends, is an Inc.com columnist, and we asked if he would, be willing to kind of write about this Requeue feature. And he actually wrote a whole article on Inc.com about Requeue. So it was amazing. We published blog posts to promote this thing. We did webinars. We did social media promotion. We did emails. We did product hunt. We really, I think one of the things that we do really well with our strategy is that we don't want to just ship something and forget about it. That's something that our co-founder Garrett talks about all the time, is how can we launch a feature but keep reminding our audience about it. And that's really core to our strategy.
All right, that's it for this bit. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe to How I Built It and join the mailing list to get more bite-sized advice for creators and small business owners. You can do both of those things at howibuilt.it/subscribe. I'm Joe Casabona, and until next time, get out there and build something.